Hello, thanks for clicking play. It's Tom here, as you're probably already aware, for another one of my extremely exciting videos where I talk about things that I've happened across in the last couple of weeks, or how long it's been since my last one. It's probably about 2 days. It feels like ages ago, to be honest, but yeah, I consume so much YouTube stuff and put so much stuff up online that isn't video that I kind of forget whether or not I've done a video, or until I look myself. But I'm sure some people like watching what I do, so I'll continue regardless. This video is going to be about things that I've come across and picked up on eBay, and not even necessarily gaming things, but things related to what I do with gaming, because as well as like all the YouTube stuff, I do a lot of stuff for like Retro Collect and the Dreamcast Junkyard, and a couple of other different publications as well. Fuck. Like, I like to have a thing in the background like this, so you can see something, and it's usually the Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast set up like with the CRT monitor. That is Super Speed Racing, or Kart Flag to Flag, I think it was called in the US. Yeah, but it's so loud. It's doing my nutting. If you can't hear it, then great. But if you can, I apologise. Jesus, grinding away. Right. Yeah. So I'll just crack on. This last week I bought another copy of a game I already thought I owned. I say thought I owned because when I initially bought it, I got it home, tried to play it, and the disc was cracked. And then when I took it back to the shop, like something out of like Gremlins or something, the shop had closed down, and it was literally like a day later. It said like now closed for business on the shutters. It was a market stall, and it was F-Zero GX. I've since played it at various gaming events that I've been to, and it is a phenomenal game. I love F-Zero anyway. I love like the original one on the SNES, the one on the Game Boy Advance, and also the one on the N64, which is probably my favourite one still. But yeah, F-Zero GX for the GameCube, literally one of the best futuristic racing games you can get, to be honest. I love Wipeout, and I didn't think it would be possible for a game, certainly a game from Nintendo, Dreamcast, to best it, but it's phenomenal. If you ever wanted to see what the GameCube can do, play this game. The graphics are unbelievable. It's absolutely stunning. You've got 40 cars on the track. It's either 40 or 30. Sorry, 30, including yourself. And then they all race off in sort of the semi distance, and you can just see like all the lens flares and stuff off there, like engines, and the track's like twisting all over the place. It's just, it's amazing. It's what the N64 game was then to me, but now, even though I still really love the N64 version, that is just stunning. So yeah, if you see that, I was going to say, if you see it cheap, get it, but you won't see it cheap. That cost me 20 quid on eBay. So yeah, it's not a game that goes for peanuts. But yeah, if you see it for a reasonable price, shall we say, then please take my advice and get it. It's brilliant. Sound like that guy from Harry Implement. It's brilliant, milk. What's next? A game I got not recently, but quite a while ago, but I forgot to mention on any of my videos, is where I live in Southampton. There's a small gaming sort of community, and they organised a gaming convention a few months ago called Southampton Game Fest, and there's a new one coming in early 2016, which I'm happy to be helping with. But they had a few traders, and I managed to pick up this Doom 64. I think it was about 7 quid, which is quite a bargain, to be honest, because it does go for quite a lot more than that on popular auction sites, shall we say. I've always loved Doom 64. It's probably my favourite version of Doom. If you've watched any of my other videos, like the Doom comparison videos, you'll know that I do own quite a few different iterations on different consoles, and the reason why I like Doom 64 is because it's totally different from all the others. It's a reworking. It's got different sprites, it's got different levels, different weapons. One thing is that the shotgun doesn't load like it does in all the other ones. The reason for that apparently is because the shotgun is meant to be a Winchester rifle, even though it still shoots a spread. Who knows? Maybe it was just laziness on the on the behalf of Midway or whoever it was who developed it. Yeah, it was, or GT, one of the two, Midway, GT, I can't remember which one is now developed it. But Doom 64, yeah, if you get the chance to pick it up, then do, because it's a really good version, to be honest. Right, what's next? Right, okay, I think I'll do this. I'm not just a retro gamer, I do have a PS4 as well, and a Vita, and I love them equally, as if they were my own children. I recently picked up this, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I must admit that I'm not a big fan of the Call of Duty game. Well, I say that, I've just not played that many. Well, no, I say that as well, but how I've played them all, apart from World at War and any of the Black Ops games. So I played like the originals, like number 2, and then all of the Modern Warfare games. But I heard this one was really good, and I got it yesterday for 15 quid, and I have to say I'm really impressed with it. The one thing that I didn't particularly like about earlier Call of Duty games was the fact that there was no kind of exploration. You just went forward into the level, and if you went off the beaten track, it was like game over. It's the same in this, but I think the fact that it's got a really engaging story and some pretty good, like, spectacular set pieces makes up for it, and it's got Kevin Spacey in it as well. Who doesn't love a bit of Kevin Spacey in their games? Another thing I got, well, I say got, I found it in my effects, shall we say, is an old Xbox Live card, which was just on the table here, so I'll use that at some point. I don't think they have an expiration date, so I'll give that a try and see if it works on the old trusty 360, because I've been off Xbox Live for so long, since I went over to PlayStation. It's it's been a while since I've even fired up my 360, to be honest. A couple of non-gaming things here that I've picked up recently. The first thing is my friend Adam, who runs Retro Collect. He said to me that you need to get a light for your camera, because when you take pictures for like on the web and stuff, if you use just like a flash, it just looks shit. And if you use your iPhone like I usually do, then it just looks even worse. So he recommended getting a light, and so I did, and I bought this on eBay and it only cost 15 quid, because the ones in the shop were like, they were charging like 45 quid for them, like a little like LED thing. And I was like, I'm not paying that. So I went on eBay, found something that I thought looked quite similar, and when it turned up, it was absolutely massive. This is the camera, obviously. This is the light. Look at the size of that. It's got about 1 million LEDs built into it. Turn it on, I'm looking over here. Look how bright that is. It's pretty cool, to be honest. It's got different filters as well. You got different coloured ones. There's another one. There's 2 more somewhere, but yeah, it's quite cool, and it's nice to take taking pictures for the very stuff I do online without having to use a flash, because that looks crap. Another thing I got, which is non-gaming but related to gaming in some way, is this, which is a blue mic for podcasting. And yeah, I used to use the microphone on the MacBook, and it was just poor, to be honest. Then I got one from Maplin, which was alright, but this one is immeasurably better, and it's actually marketed as a sort of semi-professional microphone, so that's really cool. Next gaming item I got, again something off eBay, and it is, I'll show you the packaging first. It probably won't make much sense now, but when I show it you it will. This is called the 3-in-1 connection, or the DC connection 3-in-1. That's the packaging. It's like a sort of a blister pack there, and the thing that comes in it is this little device. And then what this does is it plugs into the Dreamcast with this connector here, and then on top there is where a VMU goes. I've got one here actually, in my trusty Dreamcon wireless controller. Pull that out. Goes on like so, and then that connects to the console. I do have one here that I made earlier, like that. It looks a bit stupid, but then this thing here on the end, it's got a PlayStation controller port on this side, a Sega Saturn one on that side, and then on the other side it's got like a PS2, for a keyboard, for like the old PCs. and then you can plug your Sega Saturn controller in, for example. Again, I have one here I made earlier, and then you can use like Saturn controllers on the Dreamcast. It's a bit of a weird contraption, it's loads of wires and messing about, but what can I say, it works perfectly. It's obviously a knockoff, and it's not an official product in any way, shape or form, but yeah, that was 20 quid, and it works fantastically well, and every game I've played with it just seems better. Obviously the games that require the use of an analog stick, like 3D platformers, etc., they're not so good, and the 3D pad doesn't work at all, it's not registered. The Sega Saturn 3D pad, that is. But yeah, for like 2D fighters, King of Fighters, that kind of thing, SNK, Capcom, even like PlayStation joypads work fine. I also noted that the PS2 pads work with it, and they're also completely analog enabled, so that's pretty cool as well. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I'm squinting at the camera because I don't have my glasses on and I can't actually see my own face. I just like a blur in the little camera like screen on the side there, so apologies for that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth talking about. Not really, I don't think. I've already done my Famicom games and the Vectron. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Again, that game in the background there is Super Speed Racing. I really enjoy it. It looks amazing as well on the VGA, as far as cars racing around an oval track can go. But yeah, that's it. Cheers.